But it is your girl Cadillac. Yes, I am Cadillac Dixon. I'm the Drama Life Prison Wife. I'm the legally blind artist that is rapping and painting for justice. Hoping to see justice before all fades to black. Yes, it's your girl Cadillac. Anyways, we're out here, y'all. I'm getting some good air, some vibe. Y'all see the trees, just the breezing. Beautiful view out here on the patio. I got my artwork set up over there. So we're gonna be painting, and my aunt right here. So me and my aunt, I was setting up to do, it was a little commentary about Rajiva the ruler. I love her videos, her content, but I'm gonna hold that off because my aunt has a story to tell you guys about. Y'all know last time we tried to do a little interview, but Miss Araya was she did her own interview. Y'all can check that out in the description box below and kind of hear a little of the story. So the story just keeps compounding. So we're gonna let my Aunt Mary introduce what is going on now. And here we go. Justice, injustice anywhere is basically injustice for all of us because we all in this together. Well, I will be finishing working on a little bit of Pretty Girl Boss. Okay, this is my Aunt Mary. Wave hi to everybody, all the viewers. How you doing today, Mary?
Well, not too good. Not too
Okay.
bad. I'm blessed. I'm living.
Yes. So we're going to allow you to speak about what's going on, and I'm going to attempt to paint. So they're going to be checking out the painting, but we can hear what you're saying. So just tell us a little bit about what's going on now.
Yeah, so what's going on, I want to talk about how retaliation, I want to talk about things that's like retaliation. Anyway, I own my own mobile home. And so because I complained about, the fixtures of things that need to be fixed, I own my home, but I rented the lot. I guess a lot of lawyers and judges don't know the mobile home law. So there's this mobile home, the park office manager. I'm gonna say her name, Romina Amario, is a convicted felon. So they deal in illegal practices based, So anyway, I have to have mobility equipment. So I went to them to ask them for that to fix, and they refused it. Certain issues outside the house, I had like, raw sewage bagging up into my bathroom that's coming from outside. So in the mobile home law, they are responsible for everything outside the threshold. So they kept refusing to fix these things. I had to hire. I went to a legal aid attorney, and therefore he sent them a notice for them they have to be in the law guidelines and the fixes. So they never did. And the office manager is she's racist. She's racist. And so what she did was, after I paid my rent back in June. We pay lot rent, not just plain rent payment. We pay for our house to sit on their lot. So I paid it in June, and she held on to it. She sent it back, quoting a violation she said I violated back in March. But the law states that even if I had violated something, a rule, a regulation, whatever, it was back in March. Once you collect the rent within inside of that violation, it's no longer any good. So she refused to take my July's rent. I had to file a complaint with her corporate office for her to fix it. So anyway, so what she did was, after I filed the complaint on her back in July, she therefore came and cut down all my personal trees and plants that are allowed to have. So then they had made her accept the rent. So at the time I paid, it was closer into the June, into August. So I paid June, July, and August rent on the 5th of August, which I have videotapes, correspondence, everything to prove this. She held on to that rent until August the 16th, and she sent it back by FedEx. So it's like a track of proof of everything that went on. So when I come in with the injustice, she went down to the Orange County courthouse and she lied and said I refused to pay June, July, and August rent. So okay, I got proof. It should have been that simple. Instead, I'm sitting here now where they confiscated my house because the judge refused to look. And she went, I'm sorry, I'm jumping ahead. She went down after she returned my rent back in August by FedEx. And what made it so bad, I was on the phone with a risk management team because she had damaged my property. So anyway, on the 23rd of August, I got served an eviction. And I'm like, what would I be doing with eviction? I paid my rent. I did what I was supposed to do. In the time that she was holding on to my rent, my lot rent, she was sending out notices like I hadn't paid, but not aware that I had a video that shows that I paid. So anyway, I hired an attorney. And the attorney named Robert Michaels. And under my First Amendment right, I am allowed to speak about what happened to me and to give names because it had happened to me. So
it's not reflecting the channel.
Exactly.
Yes.
I'm upset because of what these people done to me. And as I stated, the office manager is a convicted felon. So I hired this attorney to fight my case. After he received my payment, he done nothing to help me. He filed, only motion that he filed was that he was my attorney. Because of his neglect, I no longer have my house. What she did was, and this is illegal, is to file a mobile home law under Chapter 83, which is meant for landlord tenants. That is what they call real property. Mobile homes are not real property, they are personal property. So the judge allowed them to get away with that, even after we had like the video court on October the 12th. And I tried to explain to the judge then, I said they quoted the mobile home law. I said, but they filed it under landlord tenant. I said, what homeowner has a landlord? I said, they're not landlords, they are park owners. So she was like, well, we'll reschedule the hearing because the plaintiff had, during the hurricane, experiences problem through the hurricane. We lived in the same community. She had no problems. They were sitting outside drinking and getting high the night before court. Is why she didn't make it. But it was like the judge spoke to me like I was a nobody. So when she says, okay, continue to put the money, the rent, and I correct her, I say lot rent, into the registry. So as I was trying to explain to her, number one, I was under bed rest because complications of cancer. And it was taking money to put that money in the registry, which I am on a fixed income. So I would have to pay to continue to put the money in there. So, but under the mobile home law, you're only supposed to put the amount that they state that you had not paid. So the judge refused to acknowledge that there was another law. So I goes on the 6th of February to find out there's a writ of possession for my home. I worked, I paid for, and a 24-hour notice to leave. That the judge signed them, and in the court document says that she granted them this decision under real property. Now, you a judge and you don't know the difference in the law. Mobile homes are on wheels. That's personal property, just like a car. That's why the word mobile. Real property is property that's permanently attached to the ground. So she gave away my house for these people to do as they choose, and to put me out. This lady had already said she was going to tear down my house, but now I have to get a lawyer, what they call a legal malpractice lawyer. I'm not gonna. It's gonna probably be too late to get my house back, but to go after the people that done this. So basically, the judge committed fraud and illegal practices, because by that she granted them that, and I had already told her that there's a difference between the two laws. I mean, basically, what any dummy should know the difference. If something say mobile, it's not real property. All she had to do was take the time to look and see real property. It's like apartments and, So they allowed this convicted felon to file a mobile home. She quoted that she was evicted under the mobile home law, chapter 723.
Hold on, one moment. So on this channel, we do support felons that get out of prison and trying to redo, make their life right and stuff like that.
And
so
that's fine if that's
purpose
what they're doing. But this woman has taken over 50.
So since she got out of prison, she's not trying to
exactly.
She's doing what she continued
She's getting worse
to do to put her in prison in the first place. That's what you're saying?
Right. What I'm saying is that I commend the ones that comes out and they're trying to get their lives together and everything. I'm all with that. But when you come out and you still getting worse, we are this mobile home park is for elderly and disabled people. And for you to commit a crime against elderly and disabled people, I have no respect for you. I know because in her felony is that she tried to take another life, and then you get out and you doing the same thing to other people. There are so many people that has been put out of their homes because of her illegal filing. She filed when if she don't like you, you might as well get ready. You can even go online and look at the reviews of all the people that says all these illegal evictions.
Now, there's a lot of injustice when it comes to apartment and homeowner and like rental. There's a lot of injustice that come with that, where they want to rent to certain people. They want to put certain people in certain places. So I do understand all of that.
Right. Yeah, but it's like common sense. When this first came to par, I wrote the judge a letter, and I explained to the judge, this is my home that I own. This is not real property. You understand? I wrote that letter to the judge. So there was plenty enough time for her to, in order for her to look this up. It makes me feel as though it was all a part of a scam, because I noticed that this particular judge has been on several of these cases where they have filed evictions against the mobile home owners, and this lady files them under the landlord-tenant law, and she has allowed it. Anybody with common sense should know there are two different laws. Look and see the difference. So I may not be in time enough to get my house, because the lawyer that I hired was not paying attention to this case. He did not even know and wasn't aware that this was happening.
A lot of times lawyers do that, because either way it goes, you got to pay the lawyer. And when you sign for the lawyer to take on your case, they always give you that we don't guarantee
Well, guess
anything,
what?
and
He didn't give me that.
you didn't sign no paperwork.
Oh, no. But I got proof that I hired him as an attorney.
Usually they
because
don't allow you to hire attorney without
Let me
paperwork.
tell you, he never sent any paperwork. And then on top of that, but
So he
can't-
started on your case without signing?
Exactly. And
I've never seen that.
Let me tell you. And he cannot say, oh, well, she was never my client, because you know why? He filed in court that he was representing me as my attorney. So he cannot say he didn't. He never, out of all the paperwork that I gave him, showing that, okay, this is...
So was he doing this pro bono or something?
No, he was not paid him. So he was supposed to, he never, when I paid the rent, the lot rent, everything, he never even submitted none of these to the court. No, he never read them. So I was speaking to an attorney that was a mobile home attorney for like 30 years, but he's since retired.
Have to switch, clean out my brush. Okay, I'm sorry for the interruption. Continue.
So, yeah, okay, so this mobile home attorney I spoke with, which had practiced mobile home law for 30 years. The case would have been as simple as him filing a motion to dismiss on illegal filing. It's all this attorney, Mr. Michaels, had to do. But he didn't. And I asked him several times, are you aware of mobile home laws? And he kept telling me yes. Due to his neglect,
So he didn't really know mobile home law?
No, he didn't. He was still...
What kind of attorney is he?
I don't know. He in his advertisement, it says that he's an eviction attorney or something like that.
So he deals with rentals there. He's not really
That's
dealing
exactly.
with...
But I asked him, and I told him there's a difference between mobile home law and landlord-tenant law. But he said, oh, yeah, I do know mobile home law. He didn't. He caused me to lose my house. I'm going to make sure, I'm going to file the Orange County Bar Association. I'm going to file a complaint against his law, as well as find a lawyer to sue him. And their attorney, because I'm filing a complaint against her license, and because she should have known not to file that, she should have known there was it was a landlord. I believe maybe when they first started out, she maybe didn't know, but when I mentioned it in court on the 12th of October, I noticed this office manager that hates my guts was willing to offer a stipulation as long as I paid the attorney fees and signed some terms and conditions, rules, and I said, no, I'm not going to do that because it was illegal. See, in the state of Florida, mobile home laws are regulated by the Department of Business Professional Regulations. They have to have everything approved what they want you to sign. It would have been a violation of my rights. But see, what they was trying to do, if I had signed that, it would have gave them the right. What they did was right. So I wasn't going to sign it. But now, even if I were going to do that, the lawyer that I hired, Mr. Michaels, did not send me that email to the day after that expired. So
a judgment was already reached before.
Now this was when they tried to offer for me to the rent would have been paid all the way up until that month, that October, but they wanted to add me paying the lawyer's fees instead of them doing what's right, because the reason why they done that is because I'm quite sure their attorney figured out what she had did, what the office manager done. They probably figured out, and they were trying to go ahead and get this over with. But instead of doing what was right, they still trying to charge me money. What you charging me money for? I have proof that I paid my lot rent. So now, because of my attorney, he didn't even know that they had back in December they filed a writ of possession on my house. He could have been there. They probably paid him off. I don't know. But he did not file. They filed this writ of possession of my house in January. In December. In December, they filed a writ of possession. Then on the 11th of January,
So he didn't rebuttal it.
he didn't do nothing. He did not know. On Friday, he sent me a let me know that I supposed to have video court on February 6th. So and then to make it so bad, the court wasn't February 6th, it was actually February 7th. They canceled the court because we couldn't get into the portal. So when he called the court to find out why we couldn't get in it, they canceled it because the judge had entered a judgment of writ of possession and a 24-hour notice on January the 11th. I'm like, okay, so I'm like, are you gonna file an appeal? So he starts screaming at me. Do you have something to show that you paid? I said, yes, I do. I say, I sent all this information to you. He was yelling and screaming at me to the top of his voice. Well, send it to me that you paid. So I sent it to him again. I sent him that again.
So why wouldn't he have already had that ahead of time? Because you
had
need
it.
that to prepare
right.
for a case.
He had it. I gave it to him. Every time I asked him, they're like, well, we don't need that right now. This is just a rent determination. We don't need that right now. So he never viewed my evidence that I had. If he had a file for a dismissal, based on the fact that it was filed by illegally, it was filed illegally, because of mobile home laws are supposed to be filed under Chapter 723, not Chapter 83, which is landlord-tenant law. They would have dismissed that case. So it would have been where it would have showed that it was an illegal eviction filed. I would have won that case. It was a simple case to win. But he didn't make it like that. He caused me to lose my house. So he told me it was damaged anyway, just move on. But doesn't matter whether it was damaged by the storm. I was planning on fixing my home. So now I have no home. And basically right now, I have nowhere to go. I have nowhere to live. So because of him, I will be homeless.
So you have been displaced in this hotel since
October
of last year with Hurricane Ian. And you have about another month?
No, a couple of 25th of February. If I can't find an apartment by the 25th
and it is
of February.
hard to find an apartment.
Yes.
We've been
Yes.
all over Orlando,
And-
surrounding Orlando.
And the thing is that I was trying to, force, get Famous to give me the money to fix the house. So even if they gave it to me, I have no house to fix. I have no home to go to because of the negligence of this lawyer and this judge. They caused this on me, but I'm going to do everything I can to get an attorney, and I'm going to fight back for this. This lady promised that she was going to tear my house down, so I already know she's going to tear it down. So things I have worked and I have paid
Well,
for.
it's a mobile home. They don't have to tear it down.
Yeah,
They
she's
just
going to tear it
tow-
down.
They
No,
just tow
she's
it
gonna,
on.
No, she's going to tear it down. She
Or
already
they
said
could resell it.
no, she's not going to do it. She's going to tear it down, and she says that they're going to put another one up there. She said, you watch me. She said, I'm going to tear this enough down, and I'm going to put another one here. And the thing is that I started off, I tried to deal with their corporate office. Their corporate office, because they won't talk to you. They just listen, not realizing that these people are lying. So I'm planning on writing a nice little letter to them to let them know I have notified the FBI, because over 50 some people that she hates and don't like has had their home taken because that this woman continued to file the mobile home law under the tenant law. Tenant law is only for real property. The home that she's living in for right now, she evicted this woman under the same law because the lady was feeding the cats. She makes up her own law, which is illegal. They have to go through Department of Business Professional Regulations to change whatever they want change. They're not going through there. They're coming up every year. They're increasing the rent without getting permission from the Department of Business Professional Regulations. So they're fraud because they're not fixing the property. They're taking the money for themselves.
Okay, guys, so we conclude right now for a moment because I only have less than a minute. We're going to continue. I'm going to upload. Y'all already know how I'm working, but I'll find some way to get it done. I'm going to upload and we'll be back with the rest of Mary's story.